What's up guys, it's your boy TikTok Guitarist 1. In today's video I'm going to be addressing all the beginner guitarists who want to take guitar serious in 2024. So before I even pick up the guitar, firstly I want to say is this is going to be a journey. I don't want to sugarcoat nothing. Like, to get to whatever kind of expectation you have for yourself for guitar, it's going to require practice, it's going to require hard work, it's going to be challenging, it's going to be frustrating at times. So I just want to prepare you for that. So moving on to the guitar. If you're a complete beginner to guitar, I'm just going to run you through a couple basics quickly and then I'll get into some tips and lessons. So there's 6 strings. So an acronym for remembering the name of the strings are Eddie, 8, Dynamite, Good, Bye, Eddie. Yes, there are 2 E strings. There's a low E and a high E. So with this, we'll now apply that to the fretboard. So because this is the low E and these are all open strings, if I go to the first fret that's going to be an F. Following up, it's going to be F sharp. Going up again, G. So the fretboard goes up by semitones as you go up by a fret. Depending on what string you're on, the note will be different. So on the A string, it would be A sharp or B flat, then B, then C, and so forth. So just becoming familiar with the notes is not a major thing at the beginning, but it's just something to factor in. So what I want you guys to get in the habit of when you're completely new to guitar is just getting familiar with the guitar. So this could mean when you're watching something on TV, you just pick up the guitar and just mess around. It doesn't have to be stuff that sounds good. It's just your fingers getting accustomed to the feel of the strings, potentially even discovering new chords without you even knowing. And just building up that kind of relationship with the guitar of, okay, this is how it feels in my hands, this is how it feels when I play, do different things. This will be very key to helping you grow and develop as a guitarist. So we're moving on to a chord. We'll just start with a G major chord. Pick any major chord, to be fair. G, D, A, E. But the reason I'm going to choose G is because it incorporates all the strings and it is an open chord. You only need 3 fingers for this chord. So to play this chord, your middle finger goes on the 3rd fret E string, low E. Your index finger goes on the A string 2nd fret. D string is open, G string is open, B string is open, and high E ring finger is on the 3rd fret. You may be thinking, whoa,
I just followed what you said and it didn't come out as clean.
What you may be hearing is these strings, because one thing we need to factor in with finger dexterity is how much pressure we apply to the strings. So one kind of way, especially with this chord, ironically, to help guide you onto whether you're playing the chord correctly, is this dot here. So if you see there, that is a good guideline for where you should be putting your middle finger, in the center of the 2 frets. So if I do that and just play it on its own, I know I'm getting a clean sound. So once you've got that as a clean sound, you can then go to add in the 2nd note, your B, with the index finger on your on the A string 2nd fret. So if you want to make sure that it's in the middle of the fret. So you're getting a clean sound there. So if you're getting a clean sound there, because it's open chord, you ain't got to play anything on the D string or the G string or the B string. Essentially, this could be your first chord. But to address that high E, what we want to do is add in the ring finger and play another G on the high E. So it's the same note. So one thing I will say is, depending on your guitar, the last 3 strings, so your G string, your B string, and your high E string, just to prepare you, because they are thinner, they do penetrate the skin a bit more. So when you're pressing down, it is going to hurt more. So if we take, for example, a D chord, D major chord, So to play this chord, it is D string open, index finger is on the G string 2nd fret, ring finger is on the B string 3rd fret, and middle finger is on the high E 2nd fret. But what you may find yourself is kind of compensating for ways your body kind of tries to find ways to avoid and minimize that pain. So it may end up sounding like this, because your body's like, I don't like the pain of that. So one thing I would say is, when it comes to, when you kind of get that sensation or you realize, okay, it's not coming out clean, just take a small break, because your finger, we've got to remember, this is a new experience and feeling for your fingers. So give it time to adjust. So if you're not getting this sound, you're getting more of a, I'd say try 10 times. If it doesn't come, you just take a minute break. Just give your fingers time to adjust to what it's experiencing, and then just try again. Slowly you'll get there. And also remember, if you can't diagnose which string may be muted or may not be coming out clean, just strum each string individually. So okay, because it's a D chord, there's no fingers on there. On the index finger, okay, that's sounding clean, and I've got those two. Ring finger, okay, I know I've got that one. Oh, but it's the high E that I'm struggling with. That one is not coming out clean. So what can I change to ensure that I'm doing that? So another thing, so if you look at my fingers, you just see kind of the positioning of where I'm putting my fingers on the string to get that clean sound. So what you may be thinking is, okay, what I need to do is ensuring that it's probably lower or into the finger. That could be a kind of thing that your fingers do, is pressing more onto the string to avoid that pain or minimize that pain. But you want to ensure that you're getting a clean sound and that your fingers are not interrupting the other strings, if that makes sense. And one other way to ensure that you get a clean sound is to remember, on the back you have your thumb that can press in to the fret, and you can press in from the front. So it's double action essentially. So I don't want to go too much into chords. I'll save that for the next lesson. I'll give you 4 of the basic guitar open chords that you can learn. But just for this session, I just want, for this lesson, 3 things I want you to remember is: 1, to dedicate a small amount of time every day, or whatever your schedule can accommodate for. So even if it's twice a week, 3 times a week, I'd say strive for minimum 3 times a week. One way you can do that is maybe before bed, you just have your guitar in your room, you just messing about, just to get close, just to get familiar with the guitar and the feel and certain sounds and shapes and all this sort of thing. So you've got that, and then you want to remember finger dexterity. You want to prioritize getting a clean sound over just memorizing chord shapes, because in the long run, especially when it comes from changing chords, so when you have to change from a G to a D to an A, you want to be able to do that cleanly. You don't want it to be a, so you don't want that to be where it's like, whoa, what is that? You want all your chords to be clean. Another tip I'll give you is to start practicing with a plectrum from the beginning. Get in the habit of using a plectrum. That is a habit of mine that I haven't implemented, and I've seen the kind of effects and consequences of not implementing that from the start. So if your goal is to get into lead guitar, that is something you're definitely going to need to incorporate into your practicing scales with your incorporating scales into your practice. But I will do a video on scales as well. So catch you lot in the next video on the 4 basic guitar chords.